Hi, it's Jimmy Nguyen from N-Chain and the Bitcoin Association. I'm here in Singapore with one of my great friends, Siosi Samuels from Faiā. George, how you doing?
I'm doing very well, especially now that I get to see you.
I know, and we are here for your launch event for your company. Tell us really quickly about Faiā.
Yes, Faiā. So we are a marketing consulting firm specializing in brand communities, but with a keen interest in the blockchain application enterprise space. And of course, you know, Bitcoin, we're going to talk about that.
Absolutely. In fact, we're here for your launch event called The Great Reset, which I think is a reference not just to Avengers, Infinity War, and Thanos, but the reset of Bitcoin. And because I know you're a big advocate and believer in Bitcoin SV, the original vision, why do you think it's important for Bitcoin to be reset?
Well, if you just look at the market, what's been happening over the last 10 years, proof of work, Bitcoin is still holding true. A lot of people who are, have been experimenting, thinking that they can do better. Not that they can't, it's just that there's a lot that had gone into the original design of Bitcoin. And people are only starting to see now how that is taking effect. And yeah, very important.
So you want to trust in the original Satoshi design of Bitcoin as opposed to some experiment?
Correct. I believe in sort of like the nature principles, which we know, Satoshi had in the design. And, keep things simple. Don't try to overcomplicate stuff.
So you're a believer in Bitcoin SV?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, definitely.
So I know you're also really interested in spreading education as well as growth of Bitcoin here in Singapore, which you've just moved to, and across Asia. Tell us what you think this region needs to really support Bitcoin growth.
Well, understanding of the fundamentals, because there's a lot of chaos and a lot of information out at the moment, and I think a lot of people are losing trust in general. They don't know which source to go to for education because, well, of course, everybody is saying that they are an expert or they know better. And so I think by allowing the fundamentals of Satoshi's Bitcoin play out, we can be patient with that, but at the same time, we also need to put in more energy, fire, towards making sure that we can get to that the scaling aspect right within the next 2 years, because we've got the halving coming up.
Absolutely. The block reward happening, so it's important to scale and give Bitcoin some fire. Not just fire, but Faiā. All right, final point. What do you want the Bitcoin world to know about Singapore?
Yeah, oh, Singapore. So,
other than Crazy Rich Asians.
Yeah, other than that, there's a lot more to Singapore than that. But, I see a lot of flow coming into Asia over the next, just the future in general. And Singapore, I think, is just set up to be such a hub for a lot of that economic flow. And since we're dealing in terms of Bitcoin with money itself, I think Singapore has just got that great unique blend of both the East and the West here. Multicultural, and I see it as like the country for the future world that I believe in, because I don't consider any place home. But Singapore has a lot of, diversity and multiculturalism that I really respect.
Absolutely, me too. I'm a huge proponent of diversities. I think that's a real win for the world. So get yourself to Singapore, hotbed of finance, technology, crossroads of the world, and island nation that's really going to make Bitcoin a win for the future. Thanks, George. It's Jimmy Nguyen.